February 7th at 7:36 p.m. Apologies that we are late.
Councilwoman Selby,
Present.
Councilman Karakini,
Present.
Supervisor Keating,
Present.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Present.
Councilwoman Martin.
Present.
Councilwoman Selby, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we do not have an opening prayer tonight, and we also have no other preliminary matters. We do have a public hearing, so we'll move right into that tonight. Pull it up here for us. All right, our first public hearing tonight and it reads as follows. A public hearing shall be held by the Town Board of the Town of Boston February 7th, 2024 at 7:35 p.m. at Boston Town Hall, 8500 Boston State Road, Boston, New York, to hear any and all persons either for or against 2024 Local Law Intro Number 1 entitled A Local Law to Amend the Boston Town Code to add Chapter 94 titled Short-Term Rentals to require owners of short-term rentals to obtain a short-term rental permit. This local law provides and protects the health, character, safety, and general welfare of the residential neighborhoods and the rural areas where short-term rentals are operated and to mitigate the adverse effects of short-term rentals. Copies of this proposed law, sponsored by Councilmember Lukacek, are on file in the town clerk's office Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. So I will open the floor for the public hearing. Anyone who wants to come up to speak in regards to the local law, please state your name, your address, and the floor is open.
Come on, any questions? Come on.
All right, hearing no comments on the local law, I will close the floor. The public hearing has been closed. And just a matter of record, there is a second public hearing that was scheduled for this evening. That was item number 4 under our agenda this evening. That has been canceled. The applicant had sent correspondence to the town hall today requesting the removal of their permit. So again, number 4, which was a public hearing for the special use permit for a live entertainment license for Foxhole Farm Winery located at 8325 Cole Road. Again, that public hearing has been canceled. There was a piece of correspondence, just for the record, that was received in the town clerk's office and in the supervisor's office from a Mr. Shanavan, if I'm pronouncing the last name correctly. Apologies if I am not. That is now on file in the code enforcement office in that file for Foxhole Winery. All right, moving on. Item number 2, regular business. Item number 1 is in the correction adoption of the minutes from the January 17th, 2024 town board meeting. And Councilwoman Lukacek, so take that item.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I did have a chance to read through the January 17th board meeting draft minutes. I make a motion that we approve as I did not see anything to edit.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, item number 2 under our regular business is the consideration of all fund bills. And Councilman Carnegie, would you like to take that item tonight?
Sure. I've reviewed the fund bills this evening, and I make a motion that we pay the bills in the amount of $215,444.79.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, under item number 3 tonight is our correspondence. There are 9 items of correspondence, all received and filed in the town clerk's office. The first item is a letter from NYSEG that completes the State Future Grid Challenge press release. Item 2 is the 2024 Annual Dog Control Officer Conference information. Item number 3 is the Dog Control Officer report for January 2024. Item number 4 is a letter from the Buffalo Niagara Partnership, which is their 2024 advocacy agenda. Item 5 is a letter from the Association of Towns presentation of the 2024 and 2025 executive budget. Item 6 is the Code Enforcement Office monthly reports for 2023. Item number 7 is a letter from the Erie County Department of Environment and Planning, which is the Erie County Community Climate Action Plan, which is also known as the CCAP. That is a pretty lengthy document. There's a link out on the town website for that document if you would like to see it. Item number 8 are the draft minutes from the NEST January 2024 meeting. I will kind of draw attention a little bit to that. At the most recent NEST meeting, we are doing a bundled composter sale. So if anybody is interested in composting, there'll be information shared out on the town website and social media. And that document covers some of that, some of the details there. Item number 9 is the Erie County Sewer District number 3 Board of Managers meeting minutes from January 31st, 2024. And those are pertaining to all of the updates going on at the Southtown Treatment Facility there. Moving on to new business, item 4, request from the floor. If any of our audience would like to come up to their name, to the microphone, discuss anything, please come up to the microphone, state your name, your address, and you have 3 minutes each. The floor is open.
I think I'd like to get the ball rolling for that. First off, thank you guys all for being so proactive and working with us. My name is Jeff Persanti. I live at 7806 Fedek Road. And I'm just bringing up a few points that the neighbors are very concerned about regarding the Delaware River Solar Project next door to me. First off, the company Delaware River Solar appeared to have had some company, I don't know who it was, there was no name on any of the trucks, subcontracting out some sort of drilling, soil testing, something that was going on. They were bringing in excavators. The neighbors noticed that they were bringing in truckloads of heavy structural steel, square I-beams, square tube steel. We had no idea what was going on. We contacted the code enforcement officer, Mr. Murphy, Mr. Ketting. Everybody's been very helpful with us. But I just wanted to bring this up because we have no idea what was going on, and there were no permits pulled, nothing at all for any kind of permission to start any kind of construction, and we were just all kind of taken aback by it. And I just wanted to bring that up so everybody was aware, and if everybody here with the town of Boston could help us stay informed as to anything that would be going on with it, it would be greatly appreciated. As of right now, that's all we know, and we plan on filing some FOIL, Freedom of Information, requests to certain agencies, the Army Corps of Engineers, the Erie County, I forget the exact name, the Department of Environmental Conservation. Yeah, and hopefully they can also shed some light on what is being planned by this Delaware River Solar. And the only thing I guess that I would ask of all of you, if you don't mind, to just keep us all in the loop and just try to be proactive as we all are, so we know exactly what's going on, so this company does not try pulling any fast ones on you nor the neighbors. If there's any other information that you might have, we would all appreciate if you could share it with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jeff, if I may answer your question.
Yes, sir.
Anything that's gonna happen with the solar project is gonna be reviewed by both the zoning board and the planning board.
Okay.
And at this time, we don't have anything to review. But I would follow the town website
Okay.
and follow the agenda meetings for the zoning board of appeals as well as the planning board. That's gonna be as up to date as any of us are gonna, have.
Okay.
And it is public, and it's posted in town hall, it's also posted on our website.
Great.
So that would be something I would, if, that was going in next door to me, I'd be at every one of those meetings where it pertained to that project.
That sounds good, and we'll have all the neighbors there as well. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
And just, we wanted to bring it up, like I said.
Yeah,
because
no.
When the heavy equipment was being dropped off and they're dropping off heavy structural steel,
Yep.
it definitely raised some red flags, especially since Mr. Murphy stated that there were no permits or anything pulled at the time. So just bringing it to all of your attention and
No,
to the
well-
neighbors as well.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you guys being so proactive and all that as well.
And if I may just add on to what Councilman Cardicchini said, as far as the permits, that is soil boring, I jotted it down for my report, but since we're all in the dialogue, I'll add in. So it's most likely what we've identified as soil boring. There was no, I'll call it previous notice to the town. So actually, after you and I had spoken on the phone, and we had we had reached out to our council that the town board has retained for that particular project. We retained additional, I don't know if you knew that, but we
Yes.
retained additional legal counsel. And so we've been working, through that legal counsel with Hodgson Russ. But for what they're doing, no pin permits at this time are required for what's going on there for that particular soil boring. So when, when the caution flag was tossed on the field, we, as you witnessed, firsthand, between Mr. Murphy and everyone else, it was kind of the call to action. We all jumped out and tried to identify what was going on. Mr. Murphy did also go out once on his way home, God bless him, but on his way home, he drove by that site to verify, to see what was on site as well. So, we appreciate, you guys are right there, so, many hands make light work, and, once we heard about it, we'll keep you in the loop. But Councilman Cardicchini is 100% accurate that zoning board and planning board, as this moves through the process, as this moves through the motions, there are some things there. And yes, that is all going to be a matter of public record. Obviously, if there's any litigation, that's a whole other conversation,
Yes.
Respectfully. But yes, anything in those meetings is a matter of public record.
And it would behoove that company to be forward-thinking in order to keep moving with their projects. So they would be more forward to the planning board and zoning board through our code enforcement office to get that rolling. And as well as the core boring, it would be the percolation tests.
Yes.
So, but thank you for bringing that up to the town, because you never know, right?
Right, yeah, so,
Yeah.
they're pushing their luck. But
Thank you.
We appreciate you guys and government actually working for us, so this is refreshing to see. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, sir, sorry.
Good evening, my name is Richard Bohr. I live at 7763 Fenwick Road, across the street from Jeff. And I'm a retired carpenter, so when I see material, I was the first one to notice it. Well, the first day I seen an excavator, it showed up on site, and then it was gone. And then 2 days later, I see bridge steel being delivered, and then a gang box. And then that Saturday, I see structural steel being delivered, and that's when I spoke with Jeff, and I says, there's something going on here. When we left here in July's meeting, we are under the assumption that no permits were issued, nothing's been approved, what's going on here? Are they trying to pull a fast one on us? So,
All of that's still correct.
okay, so that's why Jeff and I and the neighbors, we started getting together and say, okay, we need to find out what's going on here. So that's why we're here as concerned residents, and, we're dead against it. Bottom line, we don't want that solar field up on the hill. It's not needed, it's so small and minute, it's not gonna put that much back into the grid. The conditions with that bridge crossing that creek and the environmental, it's not gonna work, as far as I'm concerned. I'm doing a lot of reading on solar fields and the environment, and it's on Go Green agenda. And the more I hear about it, it's not working. So we just wanted to voice our opinion and say, what are they trying to do here? So that's why we're here tonight. Like I said, there were no permits issued or anything. So, just showing our concern.
Yep, appreciate
And
it.
trying to stay informed.
Yep, no, appreciate it.
Okay.
But as Councilman Cardicchini said, if you go to the Town of Boston website, the planning board and zoning board, meeting minutes are there, the agendas are there, so you'll see all the information there. And again, when it comes, should there be litigation, again, we cross a point where we have to be careful what we as a town board say. But again, depending on how this moves forward, we'll kind of chart the next steps. But we do have additional counsel on it, and again, as I've promised, any resident that's reached out to us, the information will be out on the town website for, anyone's viewing.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, thank you for coming out.
There's a question I have, and it's regarding the live music permit meeting being canceled.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a plan for that to be rescheduled?
Not that we've heard of this time. I'm guessing it was probably your son who sent the email today. Yes, I haven't heard anything at this point. I will share that the individual has retained counsel at this time. They do have some variances and some other things that they need to obtain. And in conjunction with working with the code enforcement office on some other code matters. I don't know what's gonna happen ahead, but again, the applicant respectfully, he withdrew his use permit, which is the only reason it was in front of the town board this evening. So unfortunately, that's all I have at this time for you.
That's good. My name is Jean Shanahan, 8277 Cole Road.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Shannon.
You're welcome.
Okay, any other comments tonight? All right, hearing none, move right along. All right, item number 2, that was our public hearing, so move on to item number 3, which is resolution 2024-19, the adoption by the Boston Town Board of the Town of Boston, 2024 local law number 1, amend the Boston Town Code to add chapter 94 titled short-term rentals to require owners of short-term rentals to obtain a short-term rental permit. And Councilwoman Lukacek, would you like to take that item tonight?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Supervisor.
A lot of work.
Pardon?
You did a lot of work on it.
It's been a long time coming. The Code Committee is attempting to review some codes that seem to start moving in the wrong direction in other towns. So we take those cues and start reviewing ours, trying to be proactive versus reactive. So this is one of those where we've identified and updated the chapter 94 as to the short-term rentals. So, okay, so I'm not gonna read the whole thing to you. Basically, I make a motion that we add, okay, I won't read all that to you. I make a motion that we add the chapter 94 short-term rentals, local law, resolution number 2024-19.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Tarantini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes,
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
thank you.
How much does a permit cost for a short-term rental?
I do not know. I would,
Okay, so you're adopting a resolution that you don't even know what the cost is?
hold on,
Aren't you incompetent government if you do that?
hold on.
Are your government not working for the people?
This is working for
Oh,
the people.
okay. Oh, this is that one.
Schedule of fees.
It's in the schedule of fees.
I don't think
It's not-
it's
it's not there yet.
New adopted schedule.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fees.
Okay, that's why.
This was to adopt the local law, not
Thank you.
to set.
We didn't get that far yet, so this was just to adopt the law, then the schedule fee amendment would then be another public hearing. Right?
To set a schedule of
To
fees,
set this-
the town board can set a schedule of fees or change a schedule of fees at any time based off of a motion enacted on the town board,
So we would bring it up again at the town board, at a next town board meeting. So that hasn't set yet.
You're adopting a law to require a permit, but you don't even know what the cost of the permit is.
Correct.
Isn't that incompetent government?
It comes based off a recommendation from our town planner, the code enforcement office. Again, if this did pass tonight, that fee is something that's been discussed, but again, the town board has not adopted that fee yet, respectfully.
But you're adopting the requirement of the fee.
That is correct. The local law, it changes our town code to allow us to perform this function. At which point, then the next step would be to the town board to establish, if you look at like it's called the reorganization meeting, but we set the schedule of fees every year. That schedule of fees can be changed or amended at any given point in time throughout the year based off the town board's decision to change or set fees. So I mean, that's why it's not set tonight. I mean, that's something that would,
Before you adopt a resolution, shouldn't you know what the fee, a ballpark figure of the fee? Isn't that incompetent government? You're adopting a resolution that you don't even know what the cost is.
Respectfully, the law is aimed at regulating the small, short-term rentals to comply with the safety requirements. That's what this law is all about.
So that could be no fee. Could be
It very well
zero
could be no fee,
Okay,
but
Right, we
you
haven't gotten
first
to
have
that
to
point
adopt the
yet.
law. And the law is aimed at imposing the safety standards as set forth by, the town code.
Do you have plans to,
no, I'm
Open?
asking, I'm just
yeah, but
asking
you
the
don't,
question.
you don't have plans to open a,
It doesn't matter if I open it, Who cares?
just making sure. Good point. Yes,
are
absolutely.
you opening a short-term rental?
No,
Okay, then don't worry about who opens a short-term rental, it's just a question. It's about competent government.
Well, and I look at people coming to get an Airbnb or a VRBO in the town of Boston, I wanna know that the electric is up to code, there's smoke detectors, there's carbon monoxide detectors, and every other code is enforced, just like it would be on anybody that's building a new home. So,
before you pay a fee.
right.
So everybody has smoke detectors in their home in Boston, gets all checked?
Ma'am, it's a different situation. A residential home, if it's a new build, then yes, it's being inspected at that given point in time. You'd remodel your home. That's why you pay for a permit. It's inspected at that time. My house right now, if I perform no additional improvements on my house, and we're getting a little out of context here, because again, we're in the section of the board meeting. But to answer your question, if Jason Keating decides to take the smoke detector out of my house tonight when I go home, there's nothing prohibiting me from doing so. However, if I go to sell my house, I do an improvement on my house, I remodel my house, then yes, part of that code, that fee for the permit, that's where the code enforcement officer would come out and inspect it to make sure, to Councilman Cardicini's point, that the certain and required under the New York State Property Maintenance Code, that those regulations and that criteria is being met. When you start looking at renting property, if Jason Keating decides to turn his house into a VRBO, that's a whole other ball of wax, because I'm no longer the one to cohabit, living under that dwelling. So, you have people that are going in and out, there's criteria, and this is the local law that starts to set the stage, that has to go on file with New York State, that then it bolsters that code to what you're referring to, that then allows us to charge those fees to perform those tasks. And that is something that comes as by the recommendation of the code enforcement officer and also the town planner. The town board takes that feedback, and then we adopt and set the fee that you're referring to.
Mr. Supervisor, if I may.
Yes.
The town board already provides in its schedule of fees, a fee for a permit for which there is not an established fee. I believe that is currently $50.
That's correct.
So there is a catch-all for any local law that doesn't have a fee enacted specifically for that purpose.
Mhm.
It's the fee for a permit for which there is not an established fee, and I believe it's $50. I don't have the schedule of fees in front of me.
So I would presume at the next meeting, there will most likely be a recommendation in front of the town board to set that fee. The same way that our dog control officer this evening suggested us changing certain fees there as well. So that is the feedback that we received as the governing body, that then we adopt and make public to you as a resident of the town.
Okay. No, as a matter of fact, you were so ignorant when Ms. Lukacek asked, does anybody have any questions? Nobody had any questions. And I raised a question, and you have a problem with that. What is
Okay.
your issue with that in the
All right,
back row?
All right, respectfully, let's get things back on track, folks.
I don't care for being called ignorant.
All right, moving right along. All
This is the
right.
United States of America. Freedom of
Thank you,
expression of
Supervisor
speech is
Keating.
protected under the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States of America. You know what, if you don't like what somebody has to say, that's your problem, but they have the right to say it.
All right, item number 5 tonight is Resolution 2024-20, authorizing a payment and budget amendment for the replacement of the East Hill Pumping Station variable frequency dries. Councilwoman Sully, would you like to take that item tonight?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution number 2024-20, authorizing replacement work that was completed in 2023 due to Erie County Water Authority in the amount of $73,924.64. And that constitutes a budget amendment, taking $70,576 of fund balance in Water District 3 and $1,165 into fund balance of Water District 3 extension. I'd like to make a motion to approve this resolution as well as the budget amendment.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes?
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item 6 tonight is approval for a new member of the North Boston Volunteer Fire Company, Eric Philcorn. Councilman Carter.
Yes, thank you Supervisor Keating. We have a letter from Hannah Howie, who is the secretary of the North Boston Volunteer Fire Company. Their membership has approved a new member, Eric Philcorn. Mr. Philcorn resides at 6466 Patchen Road in Boston and has passed the sex offender and arson background checks. And this member does not violate paragraph 4 of the fire contract with the town of Boston. I wholeheartedly make a motion that we approve Mr. Philcorn for active duty with the North Boston Volunteer Fire Company.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes?
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 7 tonight is to approve applications for the annual refuse licenses for MRC Disposal Incorporated, Modern Disposal Services Incorporated, and Waste Management of New York LLC. Councilwoman Selby, would you like to take those items tonight?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. We have 3 applications for licenses that are routine, done annually for MRC Disposal, Modern Disposal Services, as well as Waste Management. I'd like to make a motion to approve these applications.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes?
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, item number 8 tonight is an application for use of facility for the Boston Democratic Social Club. And Councilwoman Norton, would you like to take that item tonight?
Yes, Supervisor, the Boston Democratic Social Club put in an application for use of facility for their Easter egg hunt, which this year will be held on Saturday, March 30th, from set up 10 a.m. to take down at 4 p.m. They'll be using the town hall community room with kitchen and bathroom facilities and the town fields. I make a motion to accept this application.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes?
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 9 tonight is another application for use of facility from our town's Conservation Advisory Council for a snowshoe and snowman event. And Councilwoman Martin, would you like to take that item as well?
Yes, we received the application for the annual snowshoe and snowman event from the Conservation Advisory Council, which will be held on the 17th of February from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And they will be using the town hall community room with kitchen and bathroom facilities. And I make a motion to accept that application.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes?
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes, hopefully we have snow for it.
Get some.
We are, yeah.
and Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, moving on to old business, we have one item for old business. I'd like to make a motion, the town assessor has interviewed multiple different candidates for a clerk in the assessment office. And based off the assessment's recommendation, I'd like to make a motion to approve Donalyn Nuremberger at the amount of $19.92 per hour on a part-time basis as the new assessment clerk for the town of Boston.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes?
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, that is all of our business tonight. Reports and presentations. Highway Superintendent, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you. First, any residents that live on a town road, if you'd like your ditch cleaned out, we'll be around cleaning out ditches, but if you like your ditch cleaned out, give us a call. Otherwise, we usually in the subdivisions don't clean out too many ditches because people usually don't like the ditch cleaned out. But if you want your ditch cleaned out, give us a call. We'll be around doing, cleaning up all the plow damage. If there's any damage on your lawns, we do clean that up too. This past week, we had our first pothole show up on Sherrill Road. It was about 6 inches in diameter. It took like one shovel of cold patch. Years ago, we used to get truckloads of cold patch when I first started, when we had roads that were in pretty poor condition. But I'm probably gonna be in trouble with the town board because the 284 agreement, which most people don't know what the 284 agreement is, but before you spend any money fixing your roads, you're supposed to have it in the 284 agreement. Well, I looked at my crystal ball last November and I didn't see this pothole showing up, so I really didn't know what was gonna happen, so. It's not in the 284 agreement, so we probably spent $10 on a bag of cold patch down at Rooker's. Probably gonna get in trouble for it, but we did fix the hole. So, we took care of that. Other than that, Christmas trees, a lot of Christmas trees still out by the road. Christmas trees get picked up by Waste Management, not the Highway Department. It's in their contract to pick up the trees. It's a general fund charge, not a highway charge, because the Christmas trees, unless it grew on the right of way, if you cut your tree down, it was on the right of way, I'd be glad to come and pick it up for you. But if you bought your tree or cut it down in your backyard, it's a general fund charge, it's not a highway charge. There's totally different budgets for those. It's like brush. If you cut down trees in your yard, it's a general fund charge, it's not the highway charge. If it's on the road right away, then it's a highway charge. A lot of people don't understand that. And we don't go out and pick up brush except for the 4 months it's brush pickup, because if we go over budget, we have a major problem with the town supervisor not wanting to pay us like we did last year. So we will not be around picking up Christmas trees or brush until April 1st, and that's if we get paid for our brush pickup from last year, which we haven't got totally paid for. So hopefully that will be taken care of before April 1st, where we can start picking up brush. Other than that, I believe that's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Martin, or, sorry, Councilwoman Selby, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I just want to thank the town clerk's office for working with me and Jared Blake from Waste Management on our waste management issues we had of lately. They were very responsive and compromising and helping out those people in safety issues with garbage on a certain road in the town, and I think we got it resolved. So thank you, Sandy, for your help, and Jared Blake from Waste Management. I was glad to hopefully get that taken care of. I don't see anybody from that road here tonight, so I guess it's good. That's all I have tonight.
All right, thank you very much. Councilman Cardicini, you have the floor.
Thank you, Supervisor Keating. Just a couple things. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the North Boston Fire Company for the invitation to their installation dinner, where we installed their officers for the new year. It was a really nice evening and appreciated the invitation. Also like to thank the Boston Fire Company for the invitation for their installation dinner this past Saturday. Again, same thing, install the officers and have a meal and break some bread. It was a nice evening as well. I'm gonna steal Sandy's thunder tonight because I have the blood drive numbers.
Okay. You're sneaky.
We set a record. I'll let you deliver the news.
No, you do it.
No, you have it.
I didn't get the email.
Oh, you didn't?
I did not.
Okay.
Barbara and I have had other things going on with coordinating because of election type stuff that's going on.
Okay. On February 6th, which was yesterday, the Connect Life blood drive here in the town, we collected 108 units of blood, which is a big record for, you know, this local blood drive. I knew it was pretty big because I donated, and I've never seen it as busy as it was yesterday. I mean, it was, you guys left right before I got put in the chair. And please accept my apology for not saying hello. They put me over the questionnaire before, you know, I had a chance. But very proud to be a part of the blood drive, and the Connect Life group, they really do a nice job, and we're grateful to have them here. So good job to everybody who participated in that. And that's all I have tonight.
All right, thank you very much. Councilwoman Lukajek, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Thank you for bringing up the question about the short-term rental. That probably could have been brought up during the hearing, which is what the hearing was for. But it did throw me off guard because I'm thinking, wait a minute, we didn't set a fee. Wait a minute, oh, wait a minute, hold on, back up. You can't really set a fee until you know what you're asking for. So that's what the number of pages in the law provides, is what are we setting up, what are we asking for? If I were to, you know, rent out my location, my house, I would want my neighbors to feel comfortable that it's been vetted, and vetted by professionals, not just, hey, I'm telling you it's good, it's good. Well, maybe not. So that's what this law was for. After this has been approved by, from the public hearing, if we heard anything that needed to be revisited, then we would have held off and tabled this, but we didn't hear anything, so we continued. But the next step is to address the fees, and usually they're not extravagant. So, and it is a good for 2 years, so thank you for bringing it up. And the planning board is scheduled to meet on the second Tuesday of February the 13th, and that's all I have.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you. Councilwoman Martin, you have the floor.
Well, first I have to say, Jen, great job on that, because that's a very important law. I actually was witness to a town that did not have one of those on their books, and there was a short-term rental next to the rental we were at, and a fire started because there was a barbecue grill on the wood deck, and the whole house burnt down. So, of course, putting other properties in jeopardy and that type of thing, that's an awesome thing, because a lot of people are doing that now, the VRBO and the, Airbnb and stuff like that. Great job being proactive. Secondly, the Conservation Advisory Council always puts a lot of effort into the snowshoe and snowman event, which is a free event for families. They pass out snowshoes, and we're supposed to get some snow at the late part of this weekend and into the next week, so hopefully there'll be enough that families can come out on the 17th. And that's all I have tonight.
Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, you have the floor.
Thank you, Supervisor Keating. I wanted to thank the Boston Emergency Squad for the invitation to their installation dinner. I was honored to attend that. Thank you very much. And my office is in the process of preparing the 2024 town and county taxes. Those bills will be mailed next week, mid-February. At that time, tax bills will also be available on the Town of Boston website. Payments may be made by mail, in person, and online. Credit card is accepted for online payments. Tax payments are due March 15th. That is all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Just as a few updates. The first one I want to make note of is that our next meeting, which is regularly scheduled for February 21st, is going to be canceled due to a lack of quorum. It is a winter break for some of us that still have children in school and all. They're enjoying some time with their families. I will be down in it's called the Association of Towns Annual Conference down in New York City. It's not likely I'm going to be making it back in time with airfare, or with the airlines to get back in town. So due to a lack of quorum, we will not be having a meeting on February the 21st. Our next meeting would be regularly scheduled meeting would be Wednesday, March the 6th. If anyone hasn't seen it on the town social media, I did ask Allison in my office to put it out there, but it was something that was discussed a little while ago, right around early fall season, but Erie County is doing some improvements up at the Boston Forest County Park. So if you're not familiar with where that is, we do have a county park here in the little town of Boston, but they are widening that parking lot. It's been a mud pit for years, quite frankly. They're putting in adequate drainage, they're widening it, they're making it a little bit larger. At least what I've been told by the commissioner for Erie County Parks is that if you kind of, if you've been to the internal flame, that's kind of the, kind of the setting they're gonna try to put back in there. So it'd be a nice amenity for our community. One of the other things coming in from Erie County, I had a conversation, his name is Jim Straszewski. He is with Erie County Senior Services. Down in the community room downstairs, we do have a kitchen, for those of you not aware. We do have some appliances that have been there probably since the day that the kitchen was originally operational. And Erie County has come up with some additional funds. They're reaching out to communities all across Erie County, Boston being one of them. And we're looking at potentially getting funding for a new Sub-Zero refrigerator, a new range that it's definitely needed, and potentially a new dishwashing machine, which will be a nice amenity as that congregate dining, the afternoon lunch congregate dining program grows. There's been kind of an increasing demand or ask of would the town of Boston consider getting into an evening dining program. So that's for the town board to decide how we want to move forward with that. But the good news is we're going to get some nice appliances potentially. So that'll all be paid for with county taxpayer funds. The town board will be hearing more information on that in the near future, but there'll be some really nice additional upgrades for that room downstairs. The next comprehensive plan meeting is next Monday, the 12th, downstairs in the community room for all of the comprehensive plan committee members. Again, these committee members are residents from our community. They come from a business background, they come from just a residential background. And then tomorrow, myself, my assistant, some of the team from CPL, which is one of our engineering firm is working on this, as well as one of the consultants. We're going out to Hamburg schools tomorrow afternoon and doing outreach with their participant government teachers, and they'll be doing a survey. It's one of the things we're looking to try to identify. We did reach out to Eden and other schools previous to Hamburg, and what we're looking for is to identify what that younger generation wants in the community of Boston. Are they gonna leave Boston? Why? Is it lack of jobs? Is it lack of amenities in Boston? Do they go over to Hamburg all the time because they wanna go hang out at a particular restaurant? So those are all the things that go into the comprehensive plan. So looking forward to getting those surveys back from Hamburg schools. But they've been a great partner so far, and Mr. Kringle's has been fantastic to work with. And the only other thing, like I said, I did cover, I wanted to thank the board again for allowing me to attend the Association of Towns Annual Conference. There's a lot with code enforcement. Code enforcement's a hot topic nowadays. There's some state legislation a couple years ago that the town board had to pass a local law, but there's a lot going on with code enforcement, so that's kind of what that's airing heavy on this year. And I will just add, I'm not looking to argue here, but as far as the brush, the town board, highway superintendent, the town board will look at the documentation supplied. But again, the town board, all 5 of us, it's not me, I know I was specifically called out, but the town board makes a decision to amend the budget. It is not the supervisor. The supervisor is 1 vote, 1 person. The town board makes a decision if we want to go over the budgeted amount for additional funds. So with that being said, all the documentation was provided to the town board by the bookkeeper a few weeks ago. The board has had the opportunity to review that. It is the board's decision, and if we choose to or choose not to, what's called amend the budget to approve or appropriate additional taxpayer money for those services. So again, I'm looking for an argument, but that is a conversation that will be had. With that, I'll make a motion to end the meeting at 8:18 p.m., February 7th.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby?
Yes.
Councilman Curtis?
Yes.
Supervisor Keating?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashev?
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin?
Yes.
Motion carried, meeting adjourned.